Good morning, everybody. It's me, TONIK TTW, here with the Feisty Fletcher Failboat. Because there are times in a game when you realise that you just f-f-fed up, and yeah, this is one of those games where there's a moment that, or more than one moment, where things could have changed for the better or for the worse. So I'm in division with Late Truth and Humphalophagus, and it's been a long time since I've played some games with those guys. This one's been sat on the PS5 waiting for upload for absolutely ages, but work's been busy, life's been busy, and I haven't had a lot of opportunity to stay connected with everybody that I normally play with. So I haven't played with you in a while, and you're watching this, I do apologise. But we've got shards, we've got B cap, which is always the most hated cap on this map. And I never like to push in on the right side, sorry, on the left side. I like to push around to the right and try and spot the ships that are either going to push into B cap on the right, or as happens quite frequently, they tend to abandon B and head across to C cap. So we're going to get sneaky and we're going to push around this corner and see what we can see. Fletcher is my most played boat. I used to play it a hell of a lot, although it has been power crept by some of the newer destroyers in the game. Such as the black that has radar and is a very similar boat to this. I can't remember, the tier 7 Pan Euro, which has, or the Pan Asia DD, which has the 5.5k sonar. But we can see that red team are straight in on this cap. It's obviously a DD. Twist and Tracker's telling us approximately where he is. So we have got the torps launched and we're going to push in towards this cap to contest it because we don't want red team to have an early advantage. But no sooner do I turn to contest the cap, we get spotted. The guy has me out detected. I let the engines run a little bit more and he smokes up. It is a Lightning, which is one of my favourite boats to play. Late Truth does get some shots in. We pop our smoke because there are red ships in the vicinity, but we're going to keep ticking because we don't want to have torpedoes come through that smoke. But we get lucky, we get a dev strike and a first blood on that Lightning, and we give ourselves an early advantage, and we push to take this cap. Now, blue team have pushed C cap, they are pushing A cap as well, so it looks like we have got a very aggressive team on our hands. A cap turns, closest target to me is across, or was across on C cap. It now flicks back to northwest of B cap. Now, the bad thing about this game is that although we are playing as a division, we do get an early advantage. But once we secure this cap, one of those moments of failure is that we don't support each other. We actually split the division to try and keep the pressure on red team. But there's a couple of legendary Minotaurs out there which are going to rain hell and havoc down onto our team, and it's not a pleasant experience. But we see one of the Minotaurs pushing back across this way. Red team obviously worried about our team pushing through a cap, but we have lost 2 ships to their 1. Now we turn and we get looking at putting some torps on this Minotaur, but we don't launch because I don't think he's going to carry on sailing a straight line and he is going to be out of range. We do have an Iowa hiding behind the island over there. There is, I think it's a Kleber who has pushed in and turned C cap, and our Shimikaze out there has kind of backed out and he's not really doing a lot to help the team out in that direction. But we know that Iowa is coming out from behind those rocks. We get the torps off. We are spotted. It's the cleaver. He's low health. And we go guns on him and take him out of the game as well. So we've got rid of 2 of their 3 DDs. And I've got torpedoes running on the Iowa still. We've got that Minotaur out there. So I want to run and try and drop detection. We're having a look at what those torpedoes are doing. We're taking a lot of fire from the Minotaur and another cruiser out there. And as the Iowa appears, he takes a full whack of torps and disappears for a dev strike. So I think that was well timed on my behalf. But everybody kind of knows where I am on this map now, and I'm thinking I want to push out. And you'll see now that Late has pushed across the C cap. Humph is kind of sat between A and B, and I am pushing out trying to keep things spotted for the team. And I then realised that Late is going to need some help across here on C cap. Because I think all this shimmy is doing shimmy things, and that is firing his torpedoes and then sailing away and waiting for a reload, and then coming back and firing his torpedoes again. And this is one of the moments that I do for up because I leave Humph even though I realise later that there is still a red team Shimikaze out here. He's unspotted. I don't know exactly where he is, but there is another ship there behind me, and I'm thinking, there is some support there on B cap, so our other DD can hopefully take on that ship on B cap while I try to keep some pressure on this Minotaur and maybe force him into an error so that Late can pick him up. But the Minotaur is a rather formidable boat. It's only got AP, but that rate of fire is absolutely bonkers. And I'm trying to do what I can at the same time as avoiding all the fire from everybody else. The shimmy is backing off C cap. Like I said, I think he's just firing torpedoes, waiting for a reload, and then firing his torpedoes again, but he's not really doing much of it. His guns would help. It looks like the Minotaur's hit a heel there. We are going to risk hit points of our own, and we lose Humph to the Shimikaze. The DD is still out there on B cap. He's not pushing. And I think he really could have contested that cap a little bit better while we are trying to do what we can to get rid of this Minotaur. But we've lost B cap. There's still a lot of fire coming my direction. And so I decide that I'm going to have to try and push because we've just lost Late as well to the Minotaur. Now we put a couple of spreads of torpedoes out towards that Massachusetts. I'm not too worried about taking fire from him. But the Shimikaze is out there, and I was wrong. It wasn't a destroyer on the cap, it was a Georgia. And we'll see from the results that the Georgia actually ends with a 0-0 score. So either he was disconnected from the game, which seems to be happening more frequently later, even though Wargaming have released multiple patches, or he got torpedoed by the Shimikaze and rage quit. But one or the other, we lose him. We know the shimmy is down here. We've already dealt with 2 destroyers, and I'm thinking, we've lost the caps here. We are down to 2 destroyers. The game is pretty much lost, I think. But we do get a hit with a torpedo on that Massachusetts, but the spread of the Fletcher's torpedoes at that range is just too wide. He had plenty of opportunity to turn and avoid those. But I'm thinking if we can get rid of this Shimikaze, then it will give us the opportunity for some movement. Our Shimikaze has now decided that he wants to go in and have a go at C cap, which is very great of him. Probably the smartest decision he's made so far in this game. Now at this point, I'm thinking the game's lost. I'm going to get focus fired. Shimmy's got 15 torpedoes that are going to be coming towards me. There's the first 5. There's the second 5. I'm just going guns. I'm not expecting to survive this. I'm not even looking where those torpedoes are going. But we stay on guns because I want this guy out of the game. And there he goes. They have no destroyers left now. But I've got a Mainz and a Minotaur, and that is 2 ships that I really, really didn't want to come round this corner and face. And we're just about to have another F-up moment because I don't realise that I drop detection. And I put the torpedoes out there. It was a heat of the moment thing. I dropped detection. I could have repositioned and then come back at these guys. But I went onto my guns, and there is no way in hell that I am surviving this. And there we go. DM Hound Dog picks me up for the kill. My torpedoes are still on the way. I'm on 4 kills. I was thinking I might get lucky and one of them just might turn into these torpedoes for a Kraken. So I watched the torpedoes run, and we get a single hit with a flood, but that is damage conned. And our Shimikaze is across there, having finally secured C-cap. And we're just going to fast forward a little bit here because we're just going to zip round to see what happens towards the end. Now, Shimikaze is a bloody stealthy boat, and there is no way in hell that he should have got himself spotted like this. But he gets himself spotted, and the 2 cruisers are onto him like a tramp on chips, and he is not going to survive the onslaught much the way that I did not survive the onslaught either. But he gets himself killed, having floated around C-cap for most of the game. And we end up with 132,000 potato points of first blood, 2 dev strikes, and a high caliber, having absolutely played our ship to death, quite literally. And as the results come up for the team board, you'll see that we finished with more base XP than every ship on the winning team, apart from their shimmy, which I think shows how hard we played that fight. But it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how good you are or how great you think you are, there are times in the game that you will still make mistakes. I hope you've enjoyed watching my Failboat video, and if it's your first time past, please do hit that subscribe button. We're almost up to 500, so please do help me get there. Until next time, take care and goodbye.